Okay. So, here we are. And I think we're still talking about Ahimsa. It's been a long year already. And the reading that I chose, I choose these pretty far in advance and make the practices, and sometimes then I have to change the practice or change the reading that I do depending on how I feel that day. But it was spot on today. So it's about compassion. And go ahead and let your eyes close and let your hands rest on your heart. And the main takeaway from the reading that I had was that we develop compassion when we start trying to change ourselves. When we just stop. We don't try to change ourselves. We don't try to change anyone else. We stop judging ourselves. We stop judging others. And we really commit to this practice that we do on behalf of our hearts and souls. Just letting your breath come and go. Feeling your heartbeat under your hands. Watching as our physical bodies heal and repair with these breaths. When we start to stitch together our broken hearts and our battered souls. In the next few breaths, fill up and take up as much space as you can. Feeling all those muscles under your hands. Allow your chest to expand and contract. One more breath where you are. Let your hands fall to your knees. Let your eyes open if they were closed. Round your spine, chin to chest. On your exhale. Inhale, send your chest forward, your chin up, your tail back. And moving with your breath, exhaling as you round, inhaling as you lift. Moving with your breath pace, whether that's fast or slow, is totally up to you. But watching as your vertebrae move to create these shapes. And practicing gratitude for the range of motion that we have. And we'll inhale into center, send arms up. And on your exhale, right hand comes down, left hand comes over. Find a little lateral flexion here. Once you have found the bend in the spine, lift the left ribs up toward the ceiling. And just see what changes there in the space between the ribs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm over, ribs up to the sky. Or ribs to the right, depending on which makes more sense to you. But you can use that left hand to counter what's happening. A couple more times. Inhale into center. Exhale over to the right. And move with your breath here. Exhaling over to the left when you're ready. Inhaling into center. And when you feel like you're even, inhale up. Left hand comes to right knee, find a twist. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale into center. And exhale. And then one more time on each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Just creating room, creating space for the gratitude that we have for these physical bodies. And how much exhale to center they've endured in our lifetimes, and how, at least in my case, unkind we have been to them at times. And so we'll come into fire log, where shins stack and ankle comes, right ankle comes to the top of the left knee. And if you have this giant amount of space between right knee and left foot, let your right foot just come in the front and make your shins parallel. So rather than tucking heels in towards your bum, send the right leg, actually maybe even make the left leg parallel and the right shin further away from you. If that makes sense. I mean parallel with the edge of your mat. Either way, hands come to the knees. Inhale, lift up. Keep the lift, keep kind of an extension in your spine as you fold forward. If the foot is all the way up on the knee, you may feel this more intensely. That may or may not be what you are after. I feel just fine in my hips with my feet on the ground. So keep this fold. Press into your right knee, look up over your right shoulder. And come back into center. Switch with the left shin in front or on top of the right knee. Inhale, lift up and fold. press into the left knee, look up over the left shoulder. And come back into center. So make your way to your tabletop and use your blocks for your down dog today just to get a little different sensation, because we're going to move within the down dog and might save your hands and wrists and arm strength a little bit if you're lifted up. So hands on the blocks, fingers around the front of the blocks, come into your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale breath. Lift the right leg. On your exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right block. And as soon as you get there, come back, three-limb dog. Exhale, step the right foot out to the right side of the block, up and back. And this time, come to your lunge. So right foot on the outside of the right block, left knee down. So both hands are on both blocks at the moment. Just kind of let hips down and forward. And inhale, reach right fingertips up. Exhale, come down. Back toes turn under. Come back into your downward facing dog. Left foot lifts. Step your left foot to the outside of the left block. Just briefly, and then press back up to three-limb dog. Second time, lunge to the outside. Press up and back. Third time, stay. Lower the right knee, untuck the toes. Send the left fingertips up. Big reach. And exhale, down. Back toes turn under. Step back into your down dog. Lower onto your knees. Move your blocks out of the way. Let your knees come wide and into child's pose. Do whatever you want to with your arms. Maybe flip your wrists over. Make fists. Find a few breaths. And come up to your tabletop. And walk your hands and feet to the center of the mat. Come into a forward fold. Bring your fingertips to your shins. Inhale, halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach out and up. All the way up into mountain. Hands come to heart center. And inhale, up. Soft knees, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. As you come up into standing, and as you inhale, lift the left knee at the same time. One leg mountain. So the knee is floating, maybe at hip level, maybe not. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. That may be enough of a challenge. Always fair to put the foot down and begin again. Send your left hand behind you. Also, maybe plenty of challenge. If you're interested, eye gaze to the left thumb. And then eye gaze comes back, arm comes back, foot comes down. If that hasn't already happened a while ago, inhale, lift up. Soft knees, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. As you inhale this time, right knee comes up, one-legged mountain. Stay here, or left hand to the outside of the right knee. Stay here, or right hand behind you. And last bit, if it's interesting to you, eye gaze to the right thumb. And then the arm comes back and the leg comes down, and we breathe again. Inhale, lift up. Soft knees, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And widen your stance. As wide as you want it to be, maybe as wide as your mat, maybe wider. Soft knees, find a ragdoll. So the amount of bend in your knees is totally up to you, but have some. Maybe a lot to where belly and chest can rest on the thighs. Maybe a little if you're looking to get some feedback from your hamstrings. But if the feedback is, stop doing that, then bend your knees more. Hold on to your elbows. Let gravity take over here. Shoulders, head, arms heavy and hanging. Legs strong. Toes pressing down into the mat. Heels pressing down into the mat. Release your hands. Lift up halfway. And on your exhale, send your hips down into Malasana. Deep squat here. If that is not okay with you, slide a block under your hips or come to seated. That's where we're headed. Or hands at heart center. Elbows and backs of arms press into the inner thighs. Heart reaches toward the thumbs. Big inhale. Big exhale. And if you're not already seated, come to seated. And bring your feet out in front of you. Coming into Paschimottanasana. So, doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters too much. Especially since we're seated, we're not weight bearing in the legs. I don't think it matters whether your feet are together or their hips distance. I think that is a matter of preference. And if you want, check it out either way, because I don't know, I do it with feet hips distance. It just feels better to me. But but you might get different sensation, or you will get different sensations, I would think, with feet together. You might get a little bit more coming down the sides of the legs. So check it out. We're gonna be there for several breaths. So maybe start with feet together. Hands on your ankles or your shins, or peace fingers around the big toes. Find a couple breaths here. And then if you did start with feet together, maybe move feet apart and see how that feels to you. And if the difference matters to you, choose the one that you like best. Or better, I guess, since we have two choices. Each inhale, heart reaching toward the toes. Each exhale, softening down toward your legs. Make your way up. Slide feet away from each other. And we'll just walk down into the center today. So toes flexed up toward the ceiling. Walk until your body tells you to stop. And then maybe back up a tiny bit from the stop sign there. And soften here with your exhales. And make your way up. Bring feet together. Roll yourself down to Shavasana. And today's Shavasana, if you want, let's go wide. Wide arms, wide legs. Like you're parachuting out of a plane. Which can be what it feels like right now. Let your eyes close. Let your breath come. We learn compassion as we dissolve our personal vision of the world. We grow gentle eyes that are not afraid to see reality as it is. We learn compassion as we stop living in our heads, where we can neatly arrange things and ground ourselves in our bodies, where things might not be so neat. We learn compassion as we stop trying to change ourselves and others and choose instead to soften the boundaries that keep us separated from what we don't understand. We learn compassion as we do simple acts of kindness and now allow others' lives to be as important as our own. When we begin to expand the boundaries of our heart, we can see clearly to act in ways that truly make a difference. Compassion is a clear response to the needs of the moment. Two more breaths where you are. And slowly, slowly, slowly roll to your side. We'll come to seated when you're ready. Nice. And send arms out and up and inhale. Pull hands into heart center. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.